surely knows how much I trust this administration, which is nil. It's not even next to nil, it's nil. And I trust the media as much as I trust this administration. But what I'm truly concerned about is not Ferguson. Ferguson is just a distraction. It is the growing threat of ISIS. That is something I'm concerned about. It is the growing threat of all of these people that are still crossing our borders. That concerns me. The federal government has stated that all of these children, invading children, illegal children, have to be educated while they're here waiting for their hearing. So all of your local school districts that are being forced to accept these illegal children, it's taken away from the money that you pay. It's taking away from the education opportunity of your children as a legal resident, whether you are a citizen or not. It is placing a burden upon your school district and creating more problems because you're going to have these little demons that are out of control with very little supervision running wild. And you could say I'm being harsh. Maybe I am. But some of the garbage I've seen the left posts is downright ludicrous. Saw someone post that children in Georgia needed to welcome the local Dreamer children to school. Do you really think that's going to happen? Do you really think that teenagers are so excuse me, politically active that they're just going to jump onto that bandwagon and treat everyone, just welcome them and just say, welcome to America. I hope you enjoy your stay. No, that's not the way teenagers act. Have you forgotten what it was like to be a teenager? Or is that just like your little suburban lifestyle and you don't know what it's like in more urban areas? Urban areas are called jungles for a reason. Detroit is called the ruins for a reason. Many of these children, illegal children from Central America, despite all the violence they've seen, they have not seen anything like the jungles they are going to be exposed to in Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Atlanta. They're in for a nasty surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them were running their ass back across the border. No, they're going to be getting too many toys. They'll just become more violent than the locals. They'll team up together, sort of like how MS-13 was formed. But that's a separate issue. What we need to do is we need to control our border. And I don't care what people say about us being a nation of immigrants. Every nation has the right to defend its borders. Every nation has the right to decide who it allows to immigrate within its borders. There is no obligation to just accept anyone within your country. We have no obligation. We have no responsibility. And I don't care what any of you idiots on the left say. And I don't care what anyone on the right, who may happen to be my ally on other issues, says about this. You cannot accept more people into your country than you can support. then your country can support, then your GDP can support. Once you start bringing in more people and it doesn't boost the GDP of an equivalent level, you are going to be dragging down your own lifestyle. You're going to be uplifting those children, those illegal children, but you're going to be dragging yourself down. And before you say, well, I'm well off, I can go ahead and accept a little bit less money. That's very nonchalant of you. So why don't you just donate your money to a charity? Why don't you donate your time to a charity? Why is it you want to force me through government waste to help all of these various factions, be they legal residents who will not work or illegals that you just want to help stay? I don't agree with you. I don't believe it's the government's job to take care of people. It is people's job to take care of government. And the more people that live off the government teat, you're forgetting one thing. The government lives off our teat. And once there's too many people in the wagon getting a free ride and not enough people pulling it, you're not going to go anyplace. And you notice, we're not growing as much as we should. Our growth, GDP growth, is very, very low. And you don't think it has something to do with the fact that we have such a large percentage of our population that are not productive members of society? Think about that. You have to have productive members of society to move forward. The more people you have holding you back, the more difficult it's going to be to go forward. And all of these illegals, be they 5 million or 50 million, are holding us back. They all need to be kicked out. The border needs to be made secure, and if need be, extreme measures used to keep them out of our country. Because if you let them know that as soon as they're caught, they're immediately going to be shipped back, if you let them know that they don't have any rights in our country because they are not a legal resident and they are not a citizen, and if you take away their ability to work illegally in our country, then the numbers will shrink that will try to get across our border, because it will not be profitable for them. Just something more to think about, because I do not support amnesty. We need to take care of what we have here. Oh, and one more thing before I forget. To all of you that trust these left forward thinkers, these well-to-do on the left, I remember an article in the Atlantic. I want to say it was from 2010, maybe 2009. Maybe someone on the left read this article. It was an interview with some Silicon Valley success story. And they asked him about the fact that the middle class is dying in the U.S. And this person's response was, he did not care. Because for every middle class family that is destroyed in the USA, that is lowered into a lower class, a poverty standard of living here, it uplifts 2 or 3 families in the developing world, be it the third world or the BRIC countries. So for every middle class family that is destroyed here, don't feel bad, middle class family that is now in poverty, because you help 2 or 3 families in the rest of the world uplift themselves to the middle class. Now, I'm sure that helps you feel a hell of a lot better about your deteriorating financial situation. This is the thinking of the left. Enjoy it, lefties, because I will fight to keep the USA strong and on top of the heap, because that is where we belong.